In order to have a big picture of the relationship between agriculture area and the irrigation situation, we use tools like ArcGIS, Excel to illustrate the relationship of the two variables. Here are some questions we want to figure out.
Okay, here are our studies. We downloaded agriculture area data from FAO, then draw a map of agriculture area per kilo square. The darker color means more agriculture area in this region, and the map divided by the countries. From the map, we can easily tell which parts of Africa has larger agricultural land. For example, Morocco, Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and so on. But this is just a simple overview. We want to know more. We want to know something about irrigation situation in Africa, which part better develop their irrigation system of agriculture area. As you can see in the second map, parts with darker blue represent the countries has more irrigated area in their agriculture area. We color this map based on the density of the irrigation area, and it's a map telling story of 2011. The numbers on the map represent every area of this region. Apparently, Africa is not a place having developed an irrigation system. Only several countries of Africa have an irrigated area, such as Morocco, South Africa. Those are both comparable developed countries in Africa, and Sudan, Algeria, and so on. We can compare this map to the former one. We can see that countries with more agricultural area does not necessarily have denser irrigated region. So, do those countries' irrigation system contribute to the agriculture production? Is more irrigated area or denser irrigated area means more yields on this? We narrow what we are studying at the next step. We decide to choose countries which continuously have irrigated area from 2002 to 2011. Pick some crop items of they all have, and compare their yield and irrigation situation. We filter 6 countries which has continuously having irrigated area from 2002 to 2011. Then we choose year of 2011 because we want to use data from a year which having comparably stable and mature irrigated regions. Then we easily found 2 items, potato and cereal. It's a map of 2011 potato yield and the irrigated area in total agriculture area. Basically, it's an irrigated portion. Okay, let's rank their irrigated portion and yield. We can see that the irrigated portion and yield ranks are not matching. Okay, now let us change our items to cereal, see what we can get. Not match again. Then we realized to develop the irrigation system is actually a process. It might be not enough for us to compare different countries' yield in 1 year to conclude how irrigation affects the yield. We decide to do something like vertical comparisons. We want to know in a certain place with its irrigation area continuously existing and developing, how its yield changes.
Okay, next we will use Excel to demonstrate the relationship between the irrigated area and the yields. As you can see in the graph, we use columns to illustrate the change of potato yield from 2002 to 2011 in Ethiopia. Meanwhile, we also use the line graph to demonstrate the annual irrigated area in this country. At first glance, you can hardly find any relationship between these two variables. But if you can have a close look, you will find something like a lag effect in the relationship. The expansion of the irrigated area will render another rise in the yield in the following 1 or 2 years. Following this rule, we can see that from 2007 to 2008, there was a rapid rise in irrigated area. After 1 year interval from 2009 to 2010, there was a corresponding rise in yield, and the drop of yield from 2010 to 2011 and the decrease of irrigated area from 2008 to 2009 are also the same story. Considering the combined climate situation in Ethiopia, drought and flood, the irrigation system are brought out to improve the water resources management. Though the graph didn't tell a strong connection between yield and irrigated area. In some period, we can even find that as the irrigated area grew increasingly, the yields grew in an opposite direction. But what we should notice is that the area doesn't equal to the efficiency. Whether the irrigation system would help improving the agricultural situation or not is determined by how the systems are being managed. The shift between drought and flood made it more challenging for Ethiopia to manage its irrigation system. Okay, another graph using the same Excel tools to describe the irrigated area and the yield level of potatoes in Morocco from 2005 to 2011. There seemed to be no evidence to prove any correlationship between these two variables. Then we decided to make statistical analysis. As you can see the scatter graph and the coefficient of it. Its coefficient turned out to be negative 0.5, which means that there's no strong linear correlation between the yield and the irrigated area. But the result makes sense, because there exist two main factors that will affect the yields: the irrigated area and the development of irrigation systems are only one of them. If we want to draw to a more sound and complete conclusion about this issue, it's worth for us to take more drivers into account, such as financial investment from the government, the introduction of high tech, the weather, etc. Let's end this part with this graph. The graph tells us that the agricultural area in Africa as a whole has been steadily increasing with a bit of shocks, and the percentage of irrigated area to agricultural area has a rising tendency, especially in the recent years, though still with some downside trend in 2007 and 2008. All in all, we can come to the following conclusion. Point 1. Only small parts of Africa such as Ethiopia, Morocco, Niger, etc. has applied the irrigation system into agriculture. A large majority of countries in Africa still have no access to the irrigation system. We think maybe not only because the awareness, but also because of the limited investment capitals and the natural resources. The second point, the percentage of irrigated area in the total agricultural area has a strong tendency to rise during the past 10 years. The last point, the correlation between the yields and the irrigated area was shown to be not that strong. The reason is obvious, because the irrigation system can't drive the yield up independently. We still need to take more factors into consideration, things like technology, financial investment, natural resources, etc. But lastly, we can't ignore the contribution of the irrigation system in the rise of yields. Okay, that's all about our project. Thanks for watching. Bye.